Hey guys, Bridger Blade Bingo here, and today, um, this is going to be an unusual way of kind of doing the postmortem of E3 because I just when it came time for me to actually kind of look at the conferences and decide whether or not I actually wanted to do my usual thing of dissecting each one in each individual little dedicated video, I just looked at the conferences and I was like, ugh. like I just didn't want to do it. So instead, we're gonna be doing something different this year. And by we, I mean me, and I have with me Richard today.
Yo.
And we're going to be talking about just E3 in general overall this year and its future and just our thoughts on it, how it's changed and all that. So um I can honestly say, I don't know about you, man, but this E3, like in the 9 to 10 years that I've like been into watching it on a religious level each year, I can without a doubt say that this has been the worst E3 like in maybe ever, at least in like a
It
very
was
long time.
it was the worst E3 I've actually ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah, the one that I've ever personally seen. I know there have been some that have been like disasters, but this one just overall with everything, all the like the bad terrible showings that a lot of these publishers had, the fact that like even the big ones I feel like didn't really come out with anything major in most areas. It was just kind of like a flat line, man. I just like
It was just pretty dumb. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I mean, I was somewhat like excited because it
I
was
was too.
E3,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, after conference after conference, I'm like, this E3 sucked. As soon as
Yeah.
I got to the Microsoft one, I'm like, damn, this shit sucked. And then
Yeah.
I was like, Nintendo better save the show or something, and
Eh,
they were all right.
they were
It was
fine.
all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me. They were easily the best one out of the bunch.
They were.
Like
It
they
was all.
at the very least they had some like big things to show, unlike Ubisoft and Square Enix and I'd say Microsoft to maybe a lesser extent, but I just feel like every opportunity a lot of publishers had to show off big things, I feel like they just kind of squandered them. They just came out like this was the I don't know what the hell's going on with E3, man, but I figured after like a year of it being off and the fact that we're in a new generation of consoles, I felt like I figured we would at least see more, actual gameplay demonstrations of things and not just cutscenes and CG trailers again.
I mean, to be fair, I mean we are still in a pandemic, so
I
that
know.
was one of the reasons why. I mean, apparently, I don't know where I heard it from, but I believe Sakurai, he said that the during 2020, he said next year you'll really feel the delay of all the games that were affected
Mm,
during the pandemic.
yeah, I
He
believe
lit
him.
he literally said that, and with a lot of games being affected, like especially like even not just Nintendo's exclusives,
Big
just
the
just
Sony
just
exclusives, Microsoft exclusives.
they
Like,
were all affected. Not
yeah.
pretty much just anywhere, even indies.
Yeah.
Indies were affected too. They were all pretty much affected by the pandemic since everyone was forced to work from home, and my mom works from home, and working from home is not easy, especially when you're communicating with people from a long distance now
Yeah.
as well.
I can totally, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine how bad it is outside. Like in the video game realm, it's probably like it's bad, but like in any other places that like create like necessities or like big commodities, it's like yeah, it's they were hit really hard, especially with the working from home kind of thing.
I
But
mean, it did shift some businesses to like just work at home for only, which
mhm,
saves them money instead of like having to like work at a building.
yeah,
But still, in some aspects, like video games, I do feel like it is one thing to like have to like actually like work in person
mhm,
because it does require a lot of communication. And even like back to my mom's example, I mean, her job requires a lot of communication, but I also feel like it's just a technological aspect for some people and some businesses. Maybe they just haven't adapted to
yeah.
technology enough yet.
I feel like though with that in mind, I just felt like if all these games are not ready to be shown and they're all just gonna get delayed at some point, it's like why do all these publishers then acquiesce to this dedicated time and like span of a week to get their stuff out? Because I feel like publishers kind of underestimate, like especially the big ones like Nintendo and Microsoft, if they're willing to stick to this rigid formula of staying within like the first or second week of June to have their big thing, then I just maybe think they underestimate their own power as far as, you know, them announcing something on their own terms and people will show up. Like PlayStation got a lot of shit for pulling out of E3.
Been two
But
years already since they pulled out,
yeah, it's
or
been 3
three.
years. 3 years since they pulled out. They haven't been at E3 since 2018. And I
Well,
feel like now that we've seen what happened with like coronavirus, and they obviously couldn't have predicted that, but what we saw with coronavirus where E3 2020 got canceled and how much of a flat line this year's E3 was, I feel like they just basically made the right move. They were like, yeah, we're done. We're done with E3. We're done with the ESA. We want to do this on our own terms. And I feel like that's what more publishers should be doing, especially Xbox and Nintendo.
yeah, I mean, I can see now why it would be a little bit more easier now to just do that. Because I mean, obviously, it saves them money. Because
Oh
imagine like
yeah.
flying out
Hmm.
your executives over for a conference,
Well,
and then
I think even to participate in E3, publishers, even if it's remotely, they have to pay a fee for it.
or
I'm like,
or even
why?
or even just to build booths. I mean, don't get me wrong, the booths are still cool. I like when we went to PSX, I did enjoy taking pictures
Yeah,
next to the God of War statue and stuff.
yeah,
But I feel like stuff like that should be saved for like maybe their own events. Like I wouldn't mind Nintendo
yeah,
hosting like their own like I don't know PSX like that with their own what is it with their own booths
yeah. They'd
everywhere.
make a killing doing that if they went and actually if they rented out something like the Anaheim Convention Center, or like if they did it somewhere like closer to Japan, or like in like maybe in a European country or something. That would be fucking huge if Nintendo were
Yeah.
to do that. If they were to announce their own dedicated convention where they would do the PlayStation Experience thing where they would show off a bunch of upcoming stuff, let people demo it out, and charge them a reasonable entry fee. Because I think, how much was it for PlayStation, like the early bird for 2 days? I think it was like
It, it,
seventy
it was
dollars or something.
no, it was 60. I remember
60. Okay,
we paid 60 for 3 days.
3 days, so
No,
$60 3 days.
yeah, for the early
Okay,
bird. I
that's
remember that.
extraordinarily reasonable.
Yeah, which I really hope PSX comes back,
That
but
would
I
be
don't see it
great.
happening. I
Yeah,
don't see it
I
happening anytime
yeah,
soon
I don't
with the
either,
pandemic.
considering this how this new PlayStation is, but that's a whole nother topic for another day.
I think
Uh,
it's well, yeah, of course.
yeah,
But also, I remember you saying something like you wouldn't mind them if they were to like, because when you go to E3, people go to try out the new games.
yeah,
And it's not just that. They were going for the conferences as well because
hmm,
it's live. And then there was also just the booths, like like I was saying, like taking pictures next to the God of War
yeah.
statue,
It's
like
it's
with
a
Kratos.
social experience with friends to go to these one of these conventions.
Yes, which I think which obviously it's still an audience out there for them, but obviously like in terms of business decisions,
Hmm.
like you were saying, it would be smart for like everyone to like just, I don't know, just stream it digitally. And then I don't know, if you wanna let us try it out, why don't you release demos for us?
Yeah, do
Even
what
the you
Steam has been doing with the like. I think Jeff Keighley is the one that's kind of been spearheading this, where he's been making the Summer Games Fest like demo festival or something, where you get to play a variety of indie titles on Steam, and you don't have to pay anything. You just go into Steam and they're all there, and they're you can play them like whenever it's not whenever you want, but it's like a limited time that you can do that. But that
yeah,
that to me is something that I'd like to see E3 do, because like, especially now that we're in a post-pandemic world and people are like willing to go out into these like massively crowded convention centers to do stuff. It's like, I think it would just be a smart idea to just be like, hey, look, we have these exclusive demos that are going to be available, and you can play them from the comfort of your own home. You can play them on our website or whatever, and we'll charge you, I don't know, like what would be a reasonable price? What do you think would be a reasonable price to have like access to? And I'm not just talking about like indie games. I'm talking about like big demos. Like if we got access to like that Guardians of the Galaxy demo they showed, if we
I
got
would
access to the
I would
the
say, and this might sound really cheap. I
mhm.
mean, I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe $5. I mean, because why?
No, that's
I
way
know
too
that.
low.
I
No.
don't. I don't know.
I was
I
thinking more in the realm of like 50.
no no nah.
I would
I
see
don't know.
I would pay that depending on the games. Like, I would pay that if we got access. Like, if we could play all the stuff that was at Nintendo Treehouse, for example. If we got to play early builds of like Metroid Dread, if we got to play Super Mario, what is the new one called? Superstars, Mario Party
Mario Party.
Superstars. Yeah,
Yeah.
the new Superstars. If we got to play WarioWare, if we got to play the Guardians of the Galaxy game early, if we got to play if they didn't release the Final Fantasy Origin demo on
Okay.
store.
Okay.
Like, if you got all those games, or if you got to play Forza Horizon 5 early as well, stuff like that. Like Kena Bridge. And I'm thinking too. I'm throwing like some PlayStation stuff in there, but like
Okay.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, Sifu, stuff like
Okay.
that. If we got access to those kind of things, it's like, okay, I would be willing to pay $50 for it. But if it's shit like Skatebirds and like the indie stuff that they've been doing on the Steam festival, $50 for that, it's like, no, no, thank you.
Okay, because to be honest, when I said $5, I thought you were thinking like per demo. I think because I don't
No,
think
no, no,
any.
no. I'm thinking like a
Okay.
package deal.
Okay. I think there would have to be several packages. So like one for like maybe if you're only interested in the indie titles, maybe this
Mm,
much if you want to pay for the PlayStation ones,
yeah.
this much for the Xbox, or there's a special all-in-one with everything. We're gonna try out everything or almost everything. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, everything would have to be available. That would be tough, especially to
I don't
coordinate the Nintendo ones, because there's no way you'd be able to access those on a PC. So then
know.
Nintendo would have to release its own like dedicated E3 app to let you like stream them or download them or something like that. And then you have to
Because
pay like another fee on top of that in order to get access. It's just, I don't know. It's
I don't know. I am gonna miss these kind of game style conventions if it
yeah.
goes this route, but
I was
I
talking
mean,
about this last night with a friend, that I miss the in person conferences. Like,
yeah,
there's
I do too.
we were talking about because my friend asked me if we would ever get a conference on the level of like the Sony E3 2015 one, where they announced like Final Fantasy 7 remake and Shenmue 3 and The Last Guardian and like quite a few other things, like especially the Final Fantasy 7 remake announcement, where everyone just went like ballistic in the audience. That's something that you cannot capture in a digital event, because a digital event doesn't have an audience. You are the audience, and
I
it's like
know
you're a
that.
one person audience, and it's like, okay.
I know.
That's why, like, I've that's why, like, when uh I see people like doing like these like one off, like not one off, but like these one person things, and they're like freaking out and exciting out over like every little thing. It comes across as like really cringy. But if you get a group of people together that do that, there's something inherently like biologically exciting about seeing a group of people
No,
react to
yeah.
something exciting.
No, yeah, this is why I'm saying like if they were to do if all the game companies were to like do their own digital event, like they should still even at least try to host like their own like con for
Yeah,
their own games as well.
I think
I mean,
Xbox
yeah,
does it too. I think they did
yeah,
it in Mexico one year.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, because at this point, E3, like all the game companies basically pay for that.
Yeah. And
But
it's
I
just like
mean,
why? Like I just wonder, especially when I think of it like Xbox and Ubisoft, where they ended it with like CG trailers of games that are coming out next year. Just like why would you wait this long to have this event and like throw yourself onto the ESA bandwagon again when you don't need to do that, but you do just for I don't know if they have like a cuddly relationship with the ESA or what, but
I don't know.
it just to me seems like why are you doing this? It's just so strange. And like I said, I think they underestimate their own reach as far as their audience, cuz when PlayStation sets a date for one of their events, people watch. They don't have to wait for any other corporation to hold any kind of event and then they come out and go, "Oh yes, we shall be participating in this event and this is when we're going to be doing it." Nowadays PlayStation, like when they come out, they're like, "Here's the date, here's the time. This is what we're doing." And that's it. And then people will show up and they get a ton of like buzz and press over it, and they didn't have to pay. Well, they maybe they have to pay obviously to edit the video together and get all the corporations together to like put like like short developer introductions and stuff like that. Like it's not free doing one of these events, but it's a lot cheaper than paying the ESA for a spot on their stage on E3.
No, yeah, of course. I could see that. And I think it's just also just because what is it? I feel like Ubisoft, like you said, Ubisoft does tend to underestimate themselves because we've talked about this before. Like Ubisoft and even EA, they have the talent to make games.
Yeah.
It's just the executives and like the business people that like fuck them over.
Well,
Which
they just suck at presenting their games too, because like Ubisoft's done this like Ubisoft Forward thing like how many times now? Like 3 times, and it's like guys I think like I'm more specifically referring to like Nintendo and Microsoft when I talk about like underestimating themselves. Like I think Ubisoft would be better. I think Ubisoft would be better served not doing their own events and folding into either Sony or Nintendo or like in the case of Ubisoft with some of their stuff like uh, Xbox or whatever. Something like that. Just stop. Why do all these companies need to have these presentations? Like
I don't know.
why?
Capcom's presentation was the most pointless one
It
out
was
of all of them.
useless. I don't know about the most pointless, but it was definitely like one of the most disappointing. And I wasn't gonna stream it because I'm like I have a feeling this is not gonna be very good,
It
and
was not
it's
it.
pretty
You saved
bad.
your time. I saw everything. It
Yeah,
was so pointless. I didn't care about Monster Hunter Stories 2. I didn't care about that.
yeah. I mean,
Great Ace
and they already
Attorney.
showed it.
I agree. I don't know why they had to show gameplay for that. I mean, plenty of the people in the US were able to already played it. I mean, I played it
Yeah,
because of the fan translation. And then second, I mean, I understand they're trying to show it to like people who've never played it, but and then literally when they were showing the gameplay, it said spoiler. There's like minor spoilers in this, and I'm like,
yeah.
then
Capcom's pretty
why
bad about
why
that.
are you showing this? They actually released another trailer. I think it was today or yesterday. I don't remember.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why are you guys showing this? No. And also, I don't know why the fuck they did that. We've known about this game for a while. You guys didn't have to advertise it this badly.
Did you watch like the Gearbox one or the Take Two ones?
No,
Oh, those were
I
those are even like if you thought the Capcom one was bad, at least the Capcom one showed games. Like they may not be games you were interested in, but they showed games. Take Two's was a fucking 45-minute Zoom call talking about diversity and inclusion in their company. And I'm
Oh
like, oh my
no.
god! And it was like all this talk about like, oh, I'm so oppressed. People like me are so oppressed. Oh, but I'm like, dude, you fucking work for one of the wealthiest publishers in the world. You work for the publisher that makes Grand Theft Auto. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're so oppressed. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. Don't
What?
waste my time with that shit. And it was so like I only watched it for maybe like 5 minutes, and I was just like, God bless the people who watched all this crap just to make like meme videos out of it. Because I
Oh,
don't I have tolerance for cringe, but that was just oh
oh
my god, it
no.
was it
Speaking
was
of
just
cringe,
bad.
no, speaking of cringe, you would not have been able to handle the Devolver Digital conference. Oh
I
my
don't
god.
like it was cute the first year they did their like parody presentation, but I've gotten more annoyed with each one that they've done.
No, it's so bad. I saw it with Clay, and it was so cringe. They were just eating hot dogs or chili dogs every time, and it was just so cringe. And I'm just like, this is so bad.
I
When I
think
was
I think
talking,
that's kind of the I haven't watched it, so I don't know for sure,
it's
but
bad. It's
but
bad.
I know the Devolver ones are like parodies of E3, and they parody like all the worst video game trends. But then they turn around and make a game like they publish a game like Fall Guys that has a shitload of microtransactions in it, and it's like, guys, I know damn well you're not above that shit. Like stop, just stop with the self deprecation. Like you do this shit too. I know you do.
I don't know what the fuck
Um,
is up with this. And also, back to the diversity shit
okay,
with the other company.
with
I
Take
mean,
Two,
yeah,
yeah.
I understand diversity is important, but why the fuck are you bringing this to us?
Why are
Like,
you bringing
we
this to E3?
like we're just here to
Like,
see the games.
and they did this. They did this on this is the thing with the video game industry. It's this like bog standard like it's diversity of skin color and diversity of like it's like all surface level diversity is what a lot of these like media figures are focused on. They're not focused on like diversity of thought or anything like that. But I'm so tired of these like multi-millionaires and these fucking wealthy ass video game executives coming to me and being like, "Oh, you need to do better. Gamers need to do better." And I'm like, "Fuck off." Like if you're so like downtrodden and so like preachy about the shit, why don't you quit? Why don't you step aside and fucking make room for somebody who doesn't look like you? But you're not going to do that, are you? You're just going to sit there and fucking complain about it. And then
Oh,
also like I find it like amusing too that like fucking like E3 like they're all about, oh, we're so diverse, we're so inclusive. And yet they have the most like milk toast bland game presenter, fucking the video game industry's cum dumpster that is Greg Miller talking about fucking like, oh, gamers need to do better. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Then fucking quit. Okay? Fucking quit your stupid fucking kind of funny bullshit and promote your I forget his name, the dude that runs PS I Love You now with him, the that one black guy. Just promote him to the head of the site. Just fucking do that. Like stop fucking preaching down to me like I'm some
it's
kind of fucking asshole because
it
of my
it,
like skin color or something. Go
it
fuck
it's
yourself, dude.
it's literally a business thing, really.
Oh, it's so hypocritical. It
Dis,
totally
dis,
is.
Disney,
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney does it.
Speaking of
All
Disney, I saw an article off topic, but
yeah,
really
that's
quick.
fine.
But I saw an article regarding Luca, which I know you haven't seen yet.
I think
But
I know where you're going with this.
I saw an article, like I didn't read the article, but it was like a posting on like
Yeah.
Facebook.
Hmm.
Apparently, I was reading the title. It says something Pixar missed an opportunity,
Yes.
or like for
Yeah.
something to like make the characters gay
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
I think it was Pixar. Pixar is too cowardly to make the main characters gay or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yes,
I'm
there
just
you
like,
go.
who the fuck cares? Like one way or another. Like they're two dudes who are like best friends and they like touching each other, like putting their hands on their shoulder and shit. Why do
Or
they
just
like? why does it bother you that they're not gay? Like,
They're
why does
kids.
that bother you?
They're fucking kids. That's what they do as well.
Like, I did that with like my friends when I was in elementary school. Like, we
Yeah,
would
I
like
did that too.
it's like come on. It's like a wider problem within all these industries where they're just like they're so obsessed with like it's all surface level diversity. It's not diversity of thought. It's not philosophical diversity. It's all like it's like if you look different than us, great. Until you actually start saying things that we don't like, then
Well,
you're an
yeah.
outsider. That's
And I'm
like, and
just
again,
like,
like I've said this many times. Like I don't like, and going like tying this back to E3 with like the Take Two thing. I really do not care one way or another what way you lean or what your skin color is or something like that. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like as long as you're a good person, as long as you're not some piece of shit, I don't care. But when you get on stage like this and you start just like beating people over the head with it and start going like we need to do better. We have a diversity problem in the industry. And I'm like, bitch, have you fucking seen the video games with characters that have been being made for the last like 10 years or so? Like what the fuck are you talking about? We have a diversity problem. Like we don't. There's like been plenty of good games that have come out with great protagonists that are not white, that are not straight. There's plenty. What the fuck? Like, why do you have to dedicate 45 minutes to a fucking Zoom call about this?
oh
It's
my
so
god.
dumb.
I think just business people are just out of touch with the world.
No,
They
it's
really
all
aren't.
money. It's all money. It's all
Well,
branding. It's all gloss. It's just that's
it's
what they want. They
it's
really,
money.
they really
It's
don't
money.
care because when push comes to shove, if they were told like, "Hey, are you willing to step down from your company for someone who doesn't look like you, or someone who isn't straight, or someone who's not your sexual orientation or gender?" They would be like, "Fuck no." They wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. They would be like, "Fuck no. I'm not stepping aside. I'm not giving up my multi-million-dollar paycheck every year." They're not gonna do it. They're fucking cowards. So to see them
No,
come to E3 and fucking crow about it, it's like no, dude. I'm not gonna hear this. I gotta say, man, I think my game of the show was probably Forza Horizon 5.
oh, that's for the Xbox one
No,
for
that's
sure.
all of them. That's like all E3, I think. And I don't count Elden Ring because that came out during Keeley's Summer Games Fest
Actually,
thing.
you actually might be right on. I think I might have to agree with you on this because
And we're
there
not
really
car people.
no.
Yeah, we're not car
Um,
people. And Forza Horizon
normal.
5 looks great.
I liked it for the map creation. Like people were you can
Oh
create like
yeah.
your own like battle modes.
Yeah,
Like
they
I
had
guess like
the
your own.
bowling kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see people recreate Mario Kart tracks
That
on
looks
that
so
shit.
much fun.
Yeah, that's the reason why I want to get it. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you know, I wanted to get into Forza like Horizon like for a while, but obviously like it was just so pricey and I would rather have spent my money on other things, but now when I saw that, I'm like, oh
Hmm.
shit. Okay, yeah, now I have to get this. Yeah, in terms of the games in general, that was probably the best thing that they showed, which
Yeah.
is
At least at uh
Xbox
the
conference.
Xbox conference, that was easily for me like the big highlight out of everything. And I was
Yeah, that was the
shocked. Like I
yeah,
was
I was
shocked that that was the big
yeah,
highlight.
yeah, I as soon as I messaged you, I told you how boring it was because Shane told you, and I just told him,
Everyone
I just
told me.
yeah, and I just told you, and then you just asked me like what games that were good, and I just told you Horizon and then one other game,
Well, because Mario had spoiled them showing Forza Horizon 5.
yeah,
Like, and I was like, I might as well just ask if that was any
and
good.
then and then you're just like, really? There wasn't anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Because
being for real.
I at least expected like some big megatons out of Xbox. Like I at least expected that, but they didn't do
Yeah,
it.
and then I saw your reaction to Forza when I saw your reaction video to the Xbox
Uh
conference.
huh.
You were like, okay, yeah, everybody's been telling me that this one looks good, and then you're like, oh shit, I
Yeah,
saw your reaction. I'm like,
and I
I
really like Forza Horizon 4. I've actually been going through it again, playing with Dog and Mannix, and it's I forgot how much fun that game is.
I would have gotten it, but I'd rather just wait till Forza 5
That's
at
fair
this
enough.
point. I'm waiting till that.
That's
I'm
fair.
getting that one for sure. I'm
Yeah,
getting that one for sure. I'm
it's
getting it
it's
for sure.
that one I have quite a bit of
I think
expectations for. It looks
yeah,
really good.
I think my taste for car games is coming back because I didn't play too much Need for Speed as a kid, but whenever like my cousins, because I used to like live with my cousins, they had it on GameCube. Like sometimes I would play it, and I would have fun playing Need for Speed
See, I've
quite a
never
lot.
like arcade racers are the only ones that I can really get into, and even then, I've kind of like been burned out on like the Need for Speed series. I haven't played any of the Need for Speed games that have come out within the last like 6 years.
Well, they
'Cause I
all
just don't. Yeah,
sucked.
they suck because I just don't trust EA.
EA fucked it
Um,
over.
the last like really great one I played besides Forza Horizon 4 was probably one of the Burnout games. Probably
They
Burnout Paradise.
remastered it.
Yeah,
They
Paradise.
remastered it.
I really need to get in on that sooner or later. But like, I loved Burnout Revenge as a kid. I liked Gran Turismo when I was a kid simply because it was just like a video game. But as an adult, like those like the realistic racing sims, they just don't interest me at all. I just don't care. Like, I
I'm
don't
just
care about
saying.
Gran Turismo. I don't care about Forza, the regular one. But Forza Horizon 5, oh yeah, I'll be all over that
I,
shit when it comes
I'm
out.
I, I'm just saying though, if you're gonna get into a racer like Forza is probably the only good one out there right now.
Well,
It really is.
as far as arcade ones, yeah, I'd say now that EA has bought Codemasters, I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna fuck that company up so bad.
Okay, but aside from other games that we enjoy, I enjoyed seeing.
And I'm talking about things that specifically showed gameplay, so I don't count things like
BDI.
Starfield or
Oh yeah,
like that Redfall game, or I don't know.
Elder Scrolls 6.
No, fuck no. Um,
I didn't touch that shit. I don't like Bethesda that much.
I'd say maybe
I
Metroid Dread was another one because I didn't
oh
I
dude,
didn't
for some
know how excited. I grossly underestimated how important that was to a lot of people.
well yeah, because the concept of the idea came up 15 years ago.
Yeah, and
And the
I didn't
idea was
know.
scrapped. The idea was scrapped twice.
Yeah.
The first time was because I guess it was too early, I guess in terms of technology, and then
Mm-hmm.
the second time, I think it was just I forgot what the reason was, but it was scrapped during the DS days, regular DS days.
Hmm.
So the fact that it's finally coming to be, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
But it is being made by the super. I think it seems to be being made by the guy from that made Super Metroid,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously, like, it is kind of concerning me because he made Other M as well.
Yeah, but I think like obviously like 2D Metroid and Other M, they're like two completely different entities entirely. I just
Exactly.
I have more hope for Metroid Dread. I'm not gonna get it because I'm not a big Metroidvania person, but I'm excited for the people who are excited because I watch
Oh yeah,
Arlo, and Arlo
actually,
was
yeah.
losing his shit over fucking Metroid Dread.
I like Arlo. I like Arlo. Easy. I like Arlo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Actually, no. I have hope for
Okay.
for this one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this guy's work.
Mm-hmm.
So after Metroid Other M,
Mm-hmm.
he made a Rhythm. What did he make? Oh, he was actually the ones behind the Famicom Detective Club.
Oh, for real?
The remakes, yeah.
Oh
He
shit.
was
Okay.
he was the original game design, scenario, supervision, and producer.
Hmm.
And so he's
Okay.
producing Metroid Dread. He's producing it.
Okay. Some
He's
talent
producing it.
behind it. That's good. That's
So
good.
yeah, so regarding Metroid though, I feel like this is a good chance for him to redeem himself because a lot of
Yeah.
people did not like Other M, and whenever
No.
people, and that's the sad part because he's people liked him for Super Metroid, but then when people played Other
Yeah.
M, everyone was pretty sad and let down
Yeah.
because for some guy that made Super Metroid, he made the story like shit. He made the story shit.
I don't know what they were thinking with that story with Metroid
I mean,
Other M. Oh
to
my
to be
god.
fair, I didn't play Other M, but from the gameplay footage, it had good gameplay. But the story was,
Mm.
I did hear it was pretty shit. It was pretty
Yeah.
shit,
I've
what I
seen
heard.
I've seen like analysis videos on it. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I didn't see any footage of the story, but I just heard it was shit.
Yeah.
Just the
Um.
gameplay was good.
Another one I really liked that I hate the publisher, but I'm this is the only one of theirs that I'm like I want to play. This is Far Cry 6. That's the only one of like Ubisoft's bunch of stuff that I'm just like this is the one that I'm like I have a modicum of interest in.
They're gonna put microtransactions on it
Oh, I
like they
know
did
they
with
are.
5.
I know. That's why I'm not gonna buy it day one. I'm gonna wait until like Black Friday when I know they're gonna cut it in half. That's
Mhm.
exactly what they did with Immortals last year.
I'm not touching all their other franchises.
I would genuinely play a sequel to Immortals because I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And Far Cry 6, I haven't touched Far Cry since Primal, I think was the last time I played it. And I really like what I'm seeing with Far Cry 6 so far. I don't think it looks like some big next gen leap for the series. Like it just
Mhm.
especially those facial animations look really weird, but it just looks fun. It just looks like a
Mm,
fun
no,
explosive kind of game that I can get into.
no, yeah. Speaking of Ubisoft, there's
Hmm.
also Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh yeah,
Look,
did we see gameplay
okay,
for that?
yeah, we did. In
Oh
terms
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, we
gameplay,
did. That's right.
and I don't, from what I heard, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be, but this is one of the reasons why I never got the first one. I
Hmm.
heard the first one was just way too easy.
Really?
I heard it was
Okay.
easy. Like I watched Arlo's review on it.
Hmm.
Apparently, in terms of difficulty, it's really easy.
Are there multiple
Uh,
difficulty modes, or is just like one thing like
I
XCOM?
I honestly don't know, but
Okay.
I just heard the difficulty level is just it's pretty easy to beat.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't bother with it. I mean, the Donkey Kong expansion kind of improved it. No, actually no, the Donkey Kong expansion made it way too easier actually, apparently.
Okay.
It was simple. So I just didn't like I didn't want to bother with it
Ah.
just because I heard
Yeah.
it was easy and from somebody who already like played Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Hmm.
like even as a beginner, like on normal, it was somewhat at a fair challenging level.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to like bother with anything like too easy. So I don't
Okay.
know. I hope they improve. If they improve the difficulty on the second one, I'm open to trying it out. But I'm not like expecting myself to like pick it up like day one. Just because, to
Yeah,
be
it's
fair, the
Ubisoft.
rabbits. It's not just that. It's just the rabbit brand. The rabbit brand kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
it kind of just kills it for me.
It's rule of thumb with Ubisoft, just wait 3 months and you'll be able to get it like really cheap. Just
Well,
wait.
yeah. Yeah. I'll most likely wait
Yeah.
if anything.
Just wait and you'll be able to get it for like half off or something like that in a few months.
Yeah, and then in terms of like every other game, it was mostly, I mean, from Nintendo's Direct that day. I mean, as far as
WarioWare looked good.
WarioWare does look good. Unfortunately, it's only local co-op.
Oh, really? They confirmed that?
It's only local, yeah. It's only local
Why?
multiplayer.
Why? Like, why won't they give people online options with these party games? What is wrong with Nintendo?
I don't know. I mean, Mario Party Superstars has online,
Yeah, but you
so
had to wait like 3 years after the last one to get proper online play.
yeah.
And then they
Okay,
patched
yeah.
in online on Super Mario Party like 2 years after it came out. This is like why? Like why?
I'm
Nintendo?
not gonna lie, they put online to Super Mario Party like way too late. A good
Yeah,
time to
they
put it
did.
in
They totally did.
was when the pandemic started. When the
Yeah.
pandemic started, that would have been a good time.
No, the good time was when it launched. That was the good time.
Okay, that too, but post launch, if it didn't have it, it would have been better if they added it
Yeah.
as soon as the pandemic started. Because everyone's stuck at home and even I wanted to play some party games. I love party games like a
Yeah.
lot, but
I do too.
not e-
But
not everyone wants to
not everyone
not
can get their friends together locally, especially when they live in other states and countries.
well, yeah, that too, even as an adult.
Yeah.
Even as an adult. So, I mean, I mean, Mario Party Superstars, I'm glad it has multiplayer in it.
Hmm.
And the one thing that's making me want to get it is just the fact that it's more of a remaster or a compilation of all the other Mario parties. I mean,
Yeah.
we're already getting like boards from the first one, and we're getting mini games from the 64 and GameCube ones.
I don't know
So
why they
that's
don't just add that as DLC to Super Mario Party. Why do they have to make like another dedicated SKU to this thing? Like, why? Why can't they
I don't
just release DLC for Super Mario Party?
I don't fucking know.
It's Nintendo. That's why they do dumb
I,
shit.
I don't know. Regardless, I'm picking it up. It's
um,
something I wanted. Whether or not I play with friends, I mean,
yeah,
I don't care. It's something I want, even in my library,
that's fair enough. Yeah,
just because I get to
yeah,
play. It has the boards like remastered and shit.
yeah.
And then
Slime Rancher 2, I'm looking forward to. That's next year, but I think the first one was like a delightful surprise.
no, yeah,
Because
and
I
then
don't usually like those kind of games, but Slime Rancher just works for me.
aren't they making a VR game of that?
I don't I don't know.
Oh no,
They might
I'm
be.
thinking Puzzle Bobble VR. I'm
Oh,
thinking
okay.
Puzzle Bobble VR. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
We don't know a whole
Um,
lot about Slime Rancher 2, at least from what I've seen. It's mainly just that trailer that they showed gameplay of, and it looks I think I remarked immediately when the trailer started. I didn't even know it was Slime Rancher. And I was like, "Ooh, this art style looks really nice. Like it's really like colorful and vibrant." And then the little like slime pops up and I was like, "Oh, Slime Rancher. Sweet." And then it's coming to Game Pass day 1, which I think is really cool. So I'll definitely be playing that on PC.
no, yeah. In terms of third party stuff, I was somewhat happy when they announced Super Monkey Ball, the remaster one.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll wait and see if
Um,
they do justice to
I don't
the
I
collection.
don't think I don't think I'll get it day one,
No,
but
I'm
I'll
not gonna
wait
get
for
it.
like a sale just because. I mean, I want to try it out,
It's like that
and
Danganronpa collection for Switch. It's like I want to get into the Danganronpa games, but I'll wait until it's like cheaper.
no, yeah, that's why. And people have been asking for Super Monkey Ball remaster for like the first two
Yeah.
games because people love the first two way more than the other ones. And now that we're getting it, like they charged it like I think it's $60. I think I forget.
Is it
I didn't check.
60 for both of them?
I think.
Oh my
Let me
god,
actually
they're doing the
let me
Famicom
actually
detective thing. Oh my
I
god.
I want I want a sequel to the I want a sequel to a third game.
I do too.
The director said
Yeah.
he was okay with making a sequel, which
Hopefully
I wouldn't
Nintendo
mind.
greenlights it. That would be awesome. I'd love to play another one.
Oh well, yeah, I would like to too. I'd
Um
definitely love to.
what else? Breath of the Wild 2 looks I was actually really surprised by how like kind of like muted that trailer was as far as like showing things and how it was presented because I expected more from Breath of the Wild 2, honestly.
I kind of was like, I thought it was kind of it is what it was,
Yeah,
but
it looks good. It's just not it just didn't really like light my fire or anything like that. It wasn't like when they showed it the first year. It was like, "Oh, we're doing Breath of the Wild 2." I was like, "Oh, fuck." But this year I was like, "Oh, okay." And the fact that like fucking in Ayuma, they're doing that teasing bullshit where they're like, "Oh, here's Age of Calamity DLC." And it's like, "Okay. Here's Skyward Sword HD." It's like, here's a Zelda Game and Watch." Like, "Okay." And it's like, "Now here's Breath of the Wild 2." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the impact would be a lot better if you just cut out all that other bullshit and just say, "Here's our last thing, please enjoy," and said nothing and just showed Breath of the Wild 2. Like, I think that would have been far more impactful for people. And if they had made the trailer just a little bit longer to maybe show a little bit more stuff, I think that would have gone over really well, like even better
yeah,
than it did.
I, I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild. That's the funny part.
I really like Breath of the Wild, but I'm not like a mega fan of it. I think it has some pretty big problems
Oh
and
yeah, I
some
agree too.
very questionable design choices that I'm
I
like,
agree too. Unless you're somebody who loves to spend so many hours exploring Hyrule, then I can see why, but
Well,
still, I mean,
if you're someone who's into survival games, that's kind of what I feel like appeals more about Breath of the Wild to some people, like people that like survival games, because there's a lot of like resource management and stamina and paying attention to the environment and stuff like that.
yeah, but that's not me,
I
unfortunately. The
know.
side quests were just very pointless. They
I
were
I know
useless.
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying this, but I feel like as much of a big shameless ripoff of Breath of the Wild as Immortals Phoenix Rising is, I feel like Phoenix Rising does some things much better than Breath of the Wild. Like it does the stamina system a lot better. It does the navigation a lot better. It does the Blood Moon system a lot better. It's a lot less annoying than dealing with than the it doesn't have any breakable weapons, which I'm like, oh thank God.
Heck, Horizon Zero Dawn did it better than Breath of the
Well,
Wild.
I'm thinking of games that are like shamelessly aping off Breath of the Wild's flavor, like Genshin Impact and Immortals, like stuff like
Okay.
that. Like
Yeah, I don't.
Breath of the Wild is more like the traditional. Or sorry, the Horizon is more like the traditional open world collectathon kind of thing. And even then, I think Horizon does that better than like most of the games that Ubisoft does.
No, yeah, of course.
It's the
Of
same thing
course.
with Ghost of Tsushima, where like both of them just put Ubisoft games to shame. What was your big disappointment with E3 as far as games go? Specific games that they could have shown or did show and it didn't live up to like what you were expecting.
I was expecting the Donkey Kong game to get announced. I really
Yeah,
was. That was rumored, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets surfaced again. I mean, I feel like it has to happen because we haven't had a Donkey Kong game since 2013, 14
was that the last
for.
time that Tropical Freeze was that when it came out?
I mean, that was on Wii U, yeah, but then it came out on Switch
Well, I mean
later
like I
on.
mean like new ones, not just ports.
Oh no. Yeah, no, Tropical Freeze was the last Donkey Kong game we
Okay.
had. So that's it's been a while, so I can see
Um.
that, but I don't know how they're gonna do it because Retro apparently is not making it.
Well, they're
Apparently this,
busy with Metroid Prime 4, aren't they?
yeah, they are
Yeah.
now. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. They're saying it's a 2D or it's like a 2D 3D. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's apparently there are people, a lot of like credible sources have said it's 2D, but I don't know how it is.
Okay.
Apparently it's not even like linked with Retro's Donkey Kong Country games. It's
Hmm.
like it's like a different one. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how it's gonna work.
Okay.
But yeah, no, and then I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Retro's working on Metro Prime 4, but they were working on other stuff even before Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Because before Metroid Prime 4, their last title was Tropical Freeze. And think about Tropical Freeze came out, like I said, 2013, 14, I think.
Hmm.
And so between that and Metroid Prime 4, it's already been there's already been a huge, let's see, when was this? It was like a huge, there's already been like a huge, see, yeah, 2014. 2014 up until when was Metroid Prime 4 announced? That was
2017. I think that was the year the Switch came out. They did that JPEG of Metroid Prime 4. But then they announced in early 2019 that they're like, we got to restart development because it's not doing well under. I think it was Bandai Namco was doing it.
Yeah, they were.
So they were like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. We're going back to retro.
Okay, so yeah, so from 2014 till 2019, there was like a huge 5-year gap.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck they were working on because I'm pretty sure they were working on
Uh,
something. I mean, rumors were that they
Didn't
were
they like a
working.
racing game or something?
There were rumors saying that it was an F-Zero crossover with the Star Fox
Hmm.
series. Like it was gonna be a racing game. Apparently, I don't fucking know. Oh no, no, it was a crossover between Metroid and Star Fox.
Hmm.
And then apparently it was gonna be I think I don't know, something about an F-Zero. I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly a rumor, but I heard something about, there was like a website saying something about supposedly like Nintendo trying to revive Diddy Kong Racing, apparently. But but that
I don't
website
know.
doesn't seem to have even been credible at
Okay.
all. Because I
Probably one
mean,
of like the usual clickbait sites.
yeah, I don't know. It was posted on Nintendo Life. Apparently they were considering it. I
Hmm.
don't know, which I really think they should really revive that series because Donkey Kong Racing, the sequel to Diddy Kong Racing, before it got canceled, that had good ideas. You were able to ride on animals for racing. And
Ooh,
I think that would have been a good
that
idea.
sounds
Like
fun.
I would have enjoyed riding a rhino or riding an ostrich or a dolphin or a bee, for crying out loud. That would have been
Riding a
good.
bee.
Yeah, no, in the trailer it shows Donkey Kong
Really?
riding a bee.
Oh, I
He's
need to check
riding a
this out.
bee.
That image is that image makes me smile.
Yeah, so it's implementing everything Diddy Kong Racing had. Diddy Kong Racing, you were able to fly a plane, uh, g- uh, ride a hovercraft
Mm-hmm.
on water,
Yeah.
drive a car, and all that gets replaced with animals. Instead of driving, what you ride an ostrich or like a rhino or an animal on land. Water, ride a dolphin, and
Yeah.
then for air for like flights, I don't know, a bee or something. I don't know. It could have gone through, but
It could have.
Rare was bought by
Yeah.
Microsoft and everything got canceled. So
Yeah.
they really should revisit that concept. I think that's still a good concept. I really want them to go back to that, like so badly. I mean, especially with Donkey Kong characters. Like I love Donkey Kong characters.
I guess like the thing that I was the most disappointed with was the Square Enix one. Like that's the obvious choice for me, just because I felt like that whole conference was just useless without an appearance from Final
Let's see.
Fantasy 16 or Remake 2 or whatever they're doing. Like that new Final Fantasy Origin, from what I've played of the demo, I'm not interested in that at all. Like it just
I
did
didn't
it
even
did
look
not
at it.
it did not do anything for me. Like I was
I,
playing it and I'm like, if I want this kind of like Dark Souls thing, I'll just fucking go and play like Sekiro or Demon Souls or something. Or if I want like a Final Fantasy game, I'll just go play a fucking Final Fantasy game. Like I just whatever they're doing, like I don't know if it's just like the environment was bad or just like the cringy, edgy shit they were going with. It was just I didn't really like the combination that that Team Ninja was going for. I didn't really like it. It just when I think of Dark Souls Final Fantasy, this is not really what I had in mind, and I was kind of like, oh, when I actually played it, because I expected to. I was like, oh, it's Team Ninja. Maybe the gameplay will be good. And I played it, and it runs at like a sub 60 frames, and it just feels awkward and weird to control. I just didn't like it, so that was disappointing. And then of course, Halo. I don't know what the hell is going on with Halo Infinite as far as that release date.
oh my
I don't
gosh,
know
Halo
what is
Infinite.
going on with that. Like they showed a lot of the multiplayer, and from everything I've seen of the multiplayer, it looks like really good and a really big return to form for the multiplayer. But I have like zero confidence in that single player, man. I have zero confidence that's going to be any good.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, my friend who's a big Halo fan, he
Mhm.
he told me he has hope for the multiplayer. But I mean, aside from multiplayer, like what about story? Like,
That's the thing. Like Halo used to be like a big deal in both the single player and multiplayer.
well,
And
yeah,
I
it was
remember
it was
this like back in the
and
day, like the old Bungie games. People wouldn't shut up about what happened to Chief at the end of Halo 2 or the conclusion to Halo 3 or Reach and stuff like that. Like people cared. But now like I just don't see it. And the presentation that they did where they didn't even announce a fucking release date, like they're still going for that like holiday 2020, holiday 2021 now bullshit, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like what are you guys doing? Like why haven't you announced a release date? The theory is that they're waiting for Call of Duty to announce their thing and then they'll adjust accordingly. But I'm just like guys, like if it's not good, if the single player is not good and it's not in a place where you like, just delay the fucking thing. Just do it.
yeah,
Just
Microsoft
do it.
can lose money. They're fucking rich as
Well,
fuck.
if they're
Okay.
willing to give up their only single launch exclusive in order to make it work, I don't understand why they can't just delay it again to next year just to make more space. Release it in March. Shit, just do it. Like it will be better if you do. But again, I
If people are suspecting that it's gonna be bad, who fucking cares? Surprise us, prove us wrong,
yeah,
prove us
that's
wrong.
yeah. I want to be wrong about Halo Infinite, like the campaign. But at this point, I have no trust in 343 as far as their writers and level designers and narrative directors and all that. Because the campaign to Halo 4 is pretty eh.
I
And then
heard
the
it was.
campaign to
I
Halo
heard
5 is fucking garbage.
Halo 4's campaign, I heard mixed things about it. Some
It's
people hated it. Some people are thought
bland.
it was all right.
It's
And
very
then,
bland. Like you can tell that it's made by another studio. Like it's very
well,
obvious it's not made by
I
Bungie, especially when you go from 1 Combat Evolved, 2, 3 Reach, and then you get into 4. It's like something doesn't feel right. It's odd.
I'm still playing 1 right now, so
1 is good. My favorite is probably 3. The bunch now
yeah,
that I've like gone through them.
yeah. So I'm playing 1 right now. So
Or no, sorry, Reach. Reach is my favorite out of the 4, but my favorite out of the
okay.
original trilogy is 3.
I mean, does 3 actually end it on a good note without
Eh,
having to play 4? Because I really
eh,
don't want to go to 4.
not really. It kind of ends on like a cliffhanger kind of thing, but
I think
eh,
I
it's
think that was just Microsoft's thing because I know they wanted
they
to.
wanted to keep Halo. They wanted to put Halo on life support. They just want to keep it going. Same with Gears of War. They just want to keep these fucking franchises going. They don't want to let them die.
I
That's
actually heard good
it's,
things about Gears of War 4 or the last
it
one.
was. I'm not crazy about Gears 4. I still haven't played Gears 5 though.
Well, I'm thinking. Okay, I'm talking about the last two. Yeah,
Uh, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
I was just I was just disappointed in how like little they showed of the campaign during E3, and then they slap on that stupid holiday 2021 release date. I'm just like,
I,
what it's doing?
I know. To be fair, I think Halo just lost a lot of its fan base because the story went away. Because I know Halo was big back in the day. Because
Mm-hmm.
in middle school and high school, people would be talking about it all
Elementary
the time.
school for me.
I don't remember elementary, but middle and high school, people would be talking about it all the time. Even not just single player, but multiplayer
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
Well,
It was big on.
I loved going to my friend's house in high school and playing Reach multiplayer because they would have the Forge mode and he would make custom maps like dodgeball and trying to survive on obstacle courses in the cars and stuff. It's like those are fun, but I just like I just don't have
No,
that kind
yeah,
of fun anymore with Halo.
no, yeah, and Halo used to be big on esports back then
That too.
as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, like now they have other competitors now
Yeah,
with
they're not the
like,
king shit anymore.
and also the fact, and I'm pretty sure there's still somewhat of an esports scene out there for it, but it's not as
Yeah.
big as it was before.
There definitely is. It's just like you
Yeah.
said. It's lost a lot of its luster now that they're no longer the king shit of Fuck Mountain anymore.
Well, it's also I feel like it did lose a bit of its fan base because of the single player campaigns not being as good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But when Halo 4 was announced, like I remember a lot of like Xbox fanboys, they were
Mm-hmm.
like fucking excited for it. And I literally told them it's not being made by the same guys. Like guys, like I don't think it's gonna be that good at the time. But and then it came out, some people liked it, and then a lot of people were like, this one feels weird. This one doesn't feel the same. And I'm just like, yeah, because it wasn't made by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not working on it
Yeah,
anymore.
that's the problem with Microsoft. Like part of Microsoft's approach is that they make games that they create studios that are dedicated to a specific franchise, and I think that's a terrible idea. Like that is it's not the same thing as like Gran Turismo's Polyphony Digital where they just choose to keep going with Gran Turismo because I'm pretty sure if they asked Sony if they could do a new IP, they'd be allowed to do it. But these teams are like locked in to Halo
No,
and Gears. And
no,
it's just like,
yeah.
oh my god, I can only imagine the creative burnout that must come from working on the same franchise over and over and over and over again. Like that's why games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost of Tsushima exist is because you allow these companies that you have to branch off and try new things, and maybe you'll end up with something great. Like Naughty Dog isn't just known for Uncharted. They're not just known for The Last of Us. They're not just known for Jack and Dexter. They're known for a variety of things. Same thing with Sucker Punch. They're not just known for Ghost of Tsushima. They're not just known for Infamous. Not just known for Sly
Sly Cooper.
Cooper. It's like a variety of things, and I feel like Xbox. To be fair, not all their studios are like this. You know, but it's like the main properties that they want to keep alive. They have just chained to these poor studios that have to keep working on the same franchises day in and day out, and it's just like, oh my god, like shit. Um, So closing thoughts on E3 this year? Where do you where do you see this going in the future? Like next year?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know
hard to tell.
I don't know if they even should continue. I think it should have just stayed canceled at this point.
I would rather. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see stuff like PSX more, to be
Yeah.
honest, than E3. But
E3 had its place and its time, and now it's just kind of like a relic, and it's just like, who cares? Who cares now?
at this point, yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of makes me sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's honestly hard for me to tell right now. I don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Same here.
It's up to the game. It's up to the game publishers and developers at this
Yeah.
point.
Pretty
What
much.
its fate is.
Yeah.
It's not up to us. But
Yeah. But yeah,
okay,
thanks so much for coming by, man, as always. I appreciate it.
of
Yeah.
course.
And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see subscribe, let us know what y'all think of E3 this year and the future of it. Alrighty, catch y'all later. Bye.
Bye.